Ow. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Tim and I'm going to react on a farm tour. So let's see. It's a farm in New Zealand. I've never been in New Zealand, so I'm excited. I do really want to go there, but hey, life is life. You cannot go anywhere. Everywhere, I mean, it's just so many countries. At the moment I'm in Morocco and it's siesta. Not really siesta, but it's very hot now, so I take a siesta. And let's see how they farm in New Zealand. Oh yeah, sorry, I need to show you guys the channel first. The once a day farmer. It has 28,000 subscribers, so he's not doing too bad. And let's see what he has to say. Let's go.
Good morning and thanks for tuning in. Someone asked if I'd do a farm tour in the comments the other day, so I thought that'd be make a pretty good video. So I'm just about to shut the cows away. I've just finished milking and they're in the furthest away paddock of ours, so we'll go and start there. You get a pretty good view on a day like this. Let's go have a look.
Yes,
there you go, friendly cow. So this is our most furthest away paddock from the shed, and our boundary runs down here, zigzags back there and up that hedge line to the main road. There's a main road that runs that way, or Parangi Road, and then there's another road which runs down there, and you can see just there's a lake. So that's the biggest lake in the Waikato down there, Lake Naroto.
The biggest peak lake, is that? I mean, see where that is, maybe. Or is that not the name of the lake, just like what they call it? That's it.
And my cousin sold this farm.
Oh. I want to know the lake.
Yeah. So this is our most furthest away paddock from the shed, and our boundary runs down here.
Sorry guys.
Zigzags back there and up that hedge line to the main road. There's a main road that runs that way, or Parangi Road, and then there's another road which runs down there, and you can see just there's a lake. So that's the biggest lake in the Waikato.
Biggest peak lake. Peak lake.
Waikato down there, Lake Naroto. And my cousin sold this farm, or half to us, and he built that house, and he kept 4 hectares or 4.5 hectares of paddock. So we lease that paddock, and there's also one on the other side that we graze. Yeah, so pretty good view from over here, I reckon, especially on a good day. We'll go check out the cow shed, eh? Here's the cow shed here, so it's a 16 side here.
How much is it total? Like, he is leasing 4 hectares, but I'm curious how big the total farm is and how many cows did he say? Not yet.
Herringbone. It is quite small for 312 cows I think we're milking, but
312. Wow.
It's only once a day, so that's not so bad. And then that is an old walk-through cow shed, an old 12 cow walk-through, which my grandfather milked through his whole life. It was built in the 1930s, I think, just guessing. And we get a pretty sweet view up here of the farm. So we were over there this morning looking back this way. So the sun comes up over there, which is mean in the morning. You get a beautiful sunrise. A couple of bulls, got one there, so those are the bull paddocks, one on each side of the race.
You have the bulls outside, yeah? Yeah, why not? I guess if the fence is strong enough.
Since the bulls are still out at the moment, we put one with one herd and one with the other, obviously, and change them every morning when we milk, just to keep them fresh. And down there is our effluent sump. So we've got a stone trap which all the effluent goes through, all the solids fall down and we scoop out with the tractor, and then it goes into there and we pump it out in the irrigator on the farm, or it goes up to the bladder. So this is just pretty much just a massive big storage tank, and it holds 500,000 litres. And then it's pumped up here, and then it's gravity fed from the middle. It's scalloped out in there, so it always feeds from the middle down the hill there, back down to the sump, and then we can irrigate. So that gives us roughly about 2 months worth of storage in there if we need it. And there's the cow shed there. When we increase cow numbers, we built this yard out here, so we can fit 3 rows in there. So the cows come up, or the second mob comes in, and we put the first mob in there, and once they're all in the shed, then we can let them go, since we only have one race leading up to the shed. We'll go and have a look through the vat room. This is what we call the vat room, because obviously the milk vat's there, so that's where the milk's stored and chilled through the day, and we get picked up at night. Every night Tanga comes along and picks up the milk.
Every day? Wow.
We've got machines over here, so this is the milk lift pump, so the milk comes in there, gets lifted through here, put through this filter, up through there, and
so the milk gets picked up every day. That's a lot, and they need to be on the main road or something, very close to it. Otherwise it's very expensive, you would think.
Through the plate cooler, so the milk's chilled with water, and then down this pipe straight into the vat. Drench pump, since we drench every morning, all the cows get drenched every morning for minerals, and a couple of hot water cylinders for that's the plant wash and that's the vat wash. Down here so there's an office through that door, don't need to really show you that, there's not much in there, and a storage room. So a couple of chillers over there, and then that's the ice bank cooler, which I'll show you now.
Yeah, that's commercial.
Et voilà le copy trading XM. Copiez
Sorry
les
about
traders
that.
qui ont
I
du
don't
succès
pay for
et faites des
YouTube yet,
profits sur les marchés.
Maybe I
So
should.
these coils get chilled with gas every night, and so that forms, so the water freezes around the coils, and the water is pumped from here, which gets real cold, through the plate cooler, which we just looked at in the shed, so which brings the temperature of the milk down, which is going straight into the vat. So the main reason we do that is so that the chiller motors don't have to work as hard to bring the temperature down, because it's got to be below 6 degrees when the tanker picks it up at night. And we're getting monitored. We will have monitors in our vat soon to let our milk supply know what the temperature is. It's just new regulations, which is fine. We're not exceeding them, so we're not too worried. But it will save power by not running those chillers as often. A brief history.
Pretty smart, and it is fast. If you cool it down fast, you have like less bacteria. Bacteria is building up in it, and cells. It's perfect. But I've never seen that system. But I guess you need it if it's if you milk quite late at night and and it gets picked up. You don't want one of those strikes that your milk is too warm, because then you get less money. At least here in or back home in Norway, you will get less money, and they will give you a few strikes. You don't want that.
Of the farm. It was bought in 1912 by my great-grandfather, who moved from he was farming down by the mountain, Prongia, and they put the rail line through, so it's just at the bottom down there, and he wanted to move closer to that to enable the kids to be able to go to school in Hamilton, get a better education, I guess. So they would leave here on a Monday morning, ride down to the train station, which is probably, I think, maybe 3 k's away, and they would leave their horses in the horse paddock, catch the train to Hamilton, board over there for the week, and then they'd come home on a Friday, catch their horses and come home for the weekend. So my grandfather was the youngest of 7. His oldest brother was killed in the First World War, and he had 2 others. So my grandfather farmed here, which was 46 hectares. His other brother farmed across the road, which was sheep and beef. There's about 80 hectares over there. And then another one of his brothers farmed just there, which was a dairy farm. I think it was another 40 hectares. And we'll go check out the old cow shed which my great grandfather built. It's quite cool, good to have a look through.
So he didn't take over everything, like, not everything stayed in the family. What I understand, at least.
There's not too many of them around now.
Too bad.
This is the old cow shed which we use for a calf shed, that's why it's got wood chip. But so that was the vat room. This is where all the milking pumps were and stuff. And then behind me there, in there, that's where the high pressure hose was once they sort of invented it, I guess. So these are all the stalls. So it was a 12 cow walkthrough, and they're not in there anymore, but there used to be a little U-shaped thing about this high, so the cows would walk in and they couldn't turn around. The 4 stalls in the middle had a double up set of cups in them, and these outside ones only had 1 cup for 2 cows. And I don't know how many people milked through it. It might have taken a couple of people to, or early on it might have taken a couple, and then maybe he milked through himself. I don't know, he died when I was quite young, so I couldn't ask him. And then once the cow was finished in here, these old window weights, you'd just pull the doors up, they'd walk out around, and then there was another collecting yard out there, so they'd go back to their paddock.
Doesn't look very high actually, the door, but maybe it's just because of the video.
Colostrum tank over there, so that's where all the excess colostrum goes, and we feed our heifer calves.
Nice.
And have a look at the crops which are over there, the maize and the chicory. This is tonight's break for the cows, nice and long. So this is the first time they would have come on this chicory. We're in our first rotation at the moment. I've still got another 4 breaks, and then they'll be back in that paddock over there, which is the first break that they had, which was, it must be about 16 days ago. So we've got 20 days, and so it's a 20-day rotation obviously, and they get that through now till April. They'll get chicory every night after grass, and then they'll go on a grass paddock.
Chicory. Alright, never heard of it.
After that,
I need to look up what that is.
and it fills them up nice and good. And then it will go into annual grass in April, May. Not sure when, depending on what it's like then. We'll spray it out, we'll go in annual grass, chicory again next summer, and then it'll go in permanent pasture after that. So we do 4 hectares, which is 2 paddocks this year. We've got to be careful which paddocks you do. You sort of want them central and next to the race, so that they're always coming past. A lot of gates in it, because yeah, a lot of breaks. Just before we check out the maize, this is what it looks like once the cows have been in here. So they deck it to the ground. That's starting to grow back. That's probably must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about 6 days growth there. And then across the race, this was the first break that they went into 16 days ago. So another 4 days and it'll look good. Or there'll be a bit more growth on it yet, so they'll go back into that.
Grows pretty fast.
Now we'll go check out the maize.
Ooh, still short.
So this is my maize paddock, 5 hectares worth. We're having a boomer season for that this year. Look, it's already on 1 metre 80, and this is almost up to all the top tips are almost up to my head. So it's doing well. It's going to be a real good crop this year. We'll be looking to harvest this in about late January, early March, depending on the on the rest of the summer and seeing if we get rain. Or I did put a little bit longer maturing variety in this year's, hopefully get us through till March. But it should be interesting to see what it yields.
Mars. When was this video? Okay, you cannot really. 3 years old. Alright. December. Okay, it still has about 3.5 months to grow. Okay, that's not too bad. Looks very good.
Yeah, it is a real good crop. They say you should be fence height by Christmas. You're doing pretty well, and yeah, we're still a week away, and we're well over that, as you can see. So it's looking good.
The goals.
Here's one of the mobs of calves. I need to move them soon, give them some maize. So we try and breed a 25% replacement rate. This year we're well under. So we should have 80 calves, but we're sitting at 73, so we're a bit short. That's all right. It's just is what it is. Some years you get them and some you don't. The black ones there are Wagyus for the freezer in a couple of years, but we are straight Jersey, so all our cows are Jersey. There's a little bit of Ayrshire in there, but we're going completely away from that. We don't cross them with anything. We like the Jerseys. They're just a little bit lighter. They handle the wet better. They're quite efficient, like grass to milk solid. It's just preference really, and that's ours. So the cow shed's just there, and this is the homestead. Well, this is where my parents live, I guess I should call it. The old original homestead used to be just in here, which used to look like this, but Pop pulled it down in the 50s when it was full of borer and it wasn't worth fixing, I don't think. So he pulled it down. He built that when he married Gran. They moved into there. He built another little house because he's living with his sister, so she moved out. This was the old tennis court, but there's obviously just a pool there now. But you get a primo view.
Oh, nice.
So this is the other cow shed on the farm, which is part of the new block of 30 hectares that we bought 2 years ago. So this will be our third season, but over 2 years ago. This is a 20th side herringbone, so bigger than ours, but it's in a little bit worse condition, a bit older. There was an old walk through here too, so that's part of it.
It looks like a swing over, like you use the same organs on both sides, and I don't like that. But it's not as efficient in my mind, at least, as if you have both sides your own organs. I don't know how they call them, but we call them organs. I'm not sure what the English word is, but the cup that you put on, I mean that.
Out there, and then they've just put a pit through the middle and taken down that section, I guess. It needed a lot of work, and it's just cheaper to run one. So power wise, effluent, we'd have to put, I don't really like effluent ponds, we'd have to put another bladder or get that lined or do something. Whereas that one up there works. It takes a little bit longer to milk, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yes, 2 milk pits. At least you can make 2. I'm not sure it's not that big that you need like 2 separate ones. Maybe you can save some time if it's closer that way or that way. But this one looks a little bit bigger. Yeah, I would put this one in action and the other one just leave it. Every minute counts in my mind.
And it was good picking up this block because we got a bit more infrastructure. So my house is just there, and this is the tractor shed which we picked up. So these are the tractors that we have currently. So this is a International 574. She's a bit of a beast. She lives on the Keenan wagon. We don't take it off that often, maybe every now and then to pull a trailer, but that might be about it. So we got the Keenan, It is the second, it was the second Keenan sold in New Zealand when they first started bringing them over. I'll jump up here and have a look inside. So I've loaded up for today. It's got no straw choppers on it or anything, but it is, we got it reskinned last year, so it's a bit hard to see.
Looks pretty old.
You can sort of see the welds on the side here where they've put a new steel in there because it's wearing a bit thin. We got the little International, the 354. Pop bought this brand new back, I'm not sure when, it would have been 50 or 60 years ago maybe, and it just lives on, we've got a topper to mow the roadside, so it pretty much just lives on there. Good little tractor. My motorbike, need to upgrade that hopefully soon, not keen on that one. The gator, we love the gator, especially for calving time. You can get 8 or 9 calves in there comfortably. You wouldn't want to keep them in there too long.
A little bit high though. Need to lift them. I think that's one of the first things I would change. I don't like to lift calves at all, but I lack a little bit of muscle.
But it goes everywhere. It's pretty reliable. And then we just have a couple of loader tractors. So this is a Landini, 85 horsepower,
Landini.
Which I use for loading up the Keenan every day. And we've got the Fiat, which is an 8090, putting a bit of fertiliser on at the moment. And that's all the gear we have really. It's a silage wagon.
He has almost every type of gear that he has on one tractor, so he doesn't need to change it. Not the newest tractors though, but if it works, it works. I don't see a point of having 4 new tractors for that kind of I would not have chosen that system. I'd rather have a little bit newer tractor and just change everything regularly. But that's maybe because I'm in Norway and it's very cold in Norway. Very cold in the winter, so you need to have like a cabin and nice warm and climate control. You really need it. I'm not sure how, it looks like the cows are outside all year long, and we cannot do that back home, so yeah, I think you need to have different kind of tractors as well, and they make a lot of noise. I think all those old tractors, it's a compromise you need to make. I guess here he doesn't have any loans on the tractor, so that's a good thing.
But it's just filled of scrap metal that we need to take over and sell in Hamilton. So we picked up this infrastructure like the PK bin, which is handy. A calf shed there, a big calf shed which I rear 40 heifer calves in every year. A loading race, we use this loading race because the one up at our cow shed's well past it. So it is a bit of a pain bringing stock down here, but it is a good loading race. It's not too steep and they run on well. Maize bunker, which I think you can fit about.
We don't need that loading range. Basically, at least not one that goes up. The trucks that come and get the cows, they have like a ramp and stuff like that, so it's fine. It's a little bit old school, but if it works, I guess.
90 to 100 tons of maize in there.
Every country.
And feed pad every day, so I get the cows in at 3, the highs, and I put them in here and they get maize and PK. And like you've seen in the Keenan before. I don't use it in the winter just because it creates quite a bit of effluent that you've got to get rid of. So everything's wintered on grass in winter. but this is very handy, and it's so
outside in the winter. Yeah, but yeah, I see what the problem is. Yeah, I guess you need to make like a basement or something, so you can have the manure somewhere else, store it.
much cooler under the shade.
Too expensive if you
I
can
had to
have
put a
them
roof on
outside.
it because it was next to the drain. So I thought I'd do a bit of a summary at the end of the video. Why am I the once a day farmer? Pretty easy. I only milk my cows once a day, all season. So we don't milk all year. So they start calving on the 20th of July, and we finish calving. We try to finish before the start of October, before mating, and then we milk them right through till the end of May. And we dry off then. So the cows go on holiday for 6 to 7 weeks, so do we. We try and get away then.
Nice.
It all depends on the season too. So if it goes dry, like last year we had a really bad drought, so we dried the lows off in March and milked the highs through till the end. And if you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section and I'll get back to you.
All right.
When we wake.
No, stop. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Let's go back to the one I had before. Thank you. So he milks them once a day, and he has quite a few weeks off. I know some farmers in Norway that only milk them in the winter, and then they send them in the summer. They have a robot, and in the summer they send them away in the mountains, and then they get some money from the government to do that. But in the summer you get more money for your milk, so it's a bit of a compromise, I guess. It's pretty interesting to see how he does that. Milking once a day sounds pretty good, and I understand why he has no robot yet. And it's 3 years ago, so maybe he has one now. But anyway, I think it's nice to see how they do things in New Zealand. 2 years round, the cows are outside. I like that as well. Of course, some countries cannot do that, so yeah. But if you can, you really need to, yeah. I think it was interesting to watch. And if you have any comments, just write them down below. And I will see you next time.